This is going to change things or can dramatically change things for you, this particular module. So hang in there and let's do this. Excellent. As we move into the E of your personal power plan, we are looking at establishing exactly what is yours and what is not yours to control in a situation where there is silence. Either you are being given it or you are using it and giving it to your partner in an intimate relationship. This is the module we are in. We are now in module 4 out of 5. Well done. You are still here. I'm very proud of you. Let's start with the person who is receiving the silence. What's on you when your partner gives you silence? I'm doing this for you in 2 columns because there are many things that pop into our brain when this is happening to us. And so I wanted to put it all there so you could see all of it, as best as I could glean that you would be thinking, and into 2 columns. What is on you? It's pretty clear here. It's up to you to understand your own feelings and what you're going to do with all of them. You're responsible for your own words. You're responsible for getting the support you need if you do need it, and how long you wait for your partner to come back or how much silence you will tolerate. That's all along the healthy boundaries that we talked about, but that is also on you. It's also up to you to make sure that you do not get sucked into your partner's personal issues. It is your job to speak up and take care of yourself and to choose your own steps. What is not on you is it's not on you that they're silent. And it's certainly not on you that they have to deal with their feelings because that's theirs to deal with. You cannot fix the problem alone. It takes 2 people. And it's also not up to you and how long it's going to last, because I don't want you to try and do things to make the silence end. That is your partner's doing. They got to do that part. They got to fix that part. They got to tweak that. That's up to them. It's not up to you to make the silence end. This is very, very important. I need for you to know this, especially if your partner has a habit of doing this to you. All right. It's also not up to you to manage their feelings along the same lines as you have to manage your own. They manage their own. And again, no matter what issues your partner may have coming into the relationship, you are most certainly not responsible for them. If you already knew that they needed some kind of help or some kind of therapy and they have a lot of unresolved issues from a traumatic past, that is not on you to fix. I cannot be clear enough on that. Many people come to me with big explanations for the partner's toxic or unhealthy behavior. And sometimes I want to say, stop. You already know why it's happening. But the big issue is that it is happening. And the why of it is not up to you. That's not about you. What you're receiving, that's about you. And your partner may have this absolute need for control. That's not your problem. That's theirs. And again, you can't change your partner. A lot of information, a lot. I know I say that a lot, but even I am overwhelmed with how much there is to know about this. And I know I'm barely scratching the surface on the volume of research on this. When you are the one who goes silent, these are your responsibility. And this is also, I got to say, it was a little bit bittersweet for me to look at all of these from a partner, from a perspective of someone who has used silence. It was quite humbling, and I learned a lot about this as I had to face my own patterns of the past. You're doing this. You're the one choosing the silence. And when I did, I knew I was doing it, didn't like that I was doing it, but I was doing it. It's up to you that you pulled away. It's up to you that you left your partner feeling that way. And you can't say, but I'm not responsible for their feelings, but you are responsible for the consequences of your actions to a certain degree. All right, I'll talk a little bit more about that later. It's your choice that you're not handling or addressing the problems right now. And I'm not saying this from a judgment and a kind of authority position, although I fear that I come across that way. I am not. I am merely helping us all hold ourselves responsible for what is ours, especially if it's ugly. None of us intend to have ugly behavior and to behave a certain way, and yet we do. All right, it is up to you on how long it lasts. It is up to you. Yes, the emotional toll the silence takes on your partner. It is. We can't say, "Oh, but you did that." Yeah, but you see what your actions did. We know what our actions are causing, even if we don't want to admit that to ourselves. It is up to you to deal with your fear of confrontation. If you have issues with dealing with confrontation, it is up to you entirely to get that looked at and to learn better ways. You can't blame your partner for that. If that is in you, that is yours to deal. And of course, if you are withholding your true feelings and you're not speaking up and you can't blame that on your partner. Maybe they're not the best listener, but you're not speaking. And remember, in the other side too, it's also your responsibility to listen. Okay, it's also up to you to make the first move to end the silence because that is on you. Now, this is what I really could have used back then when I was completely overwhelmed and I didn't know what to take responsibility for and what I could not. This part really helped me, and I hope it does help you if you are a person who uses silence to deal with relationship problems or to deal in general. We can't be perfect. And the more you expect yourself to communicate perfectly, the worse you will be off. So you don't have to be amazing at it, but you do have to do it. It's not up to you to resolve it all on your own in your little quiet pocket. It certainly wasn't mine as I was triggered and kind of locked myself in the bedroom for a little bit to sort it all out. I had a feeling it was up to me to sort it all out and make it all right. It was and it wasn't, because if it's a relationship issue, it requires both parts. Both parts should be involved in the fixing process. You can't always make your partner feel okay, especially when you're not okay yourself. And sometimes people are overwhelmed with the pressure to make things okay that they shut down. You can't fix your partner's insecurities. Again, we have to fix our own. And of course, some of the problems that people have is they just get wrapped up in having to have all the answers, that they will sit there silently until they can think of every single thing. But really, you have a partner. You have a partner. You're a team. And so release yourself from that kind of pressure. And yes, you can't always make your partner's feelings priority. And also, doing all the emotional work in a relationship, I've seen this a lot where people shut down because they're tired of doing all the emotional work in the relationship. They are tired of trying to talk. They're tired of trying to find empathy or finding empathy within themselves or eliciting empathy and warmth and emotion from their partner, that they shut down. Sometimes you can't control that. You can't control what your partner will give you. And so please release that pressure you may be putting upon yourself to fix everything and to hold it all. If your partner decides to change their boundaries because of, for whatever reason, we can't control that either. And also, if your partner isn't a good listener, that's not on you. There's only so much you can do to speak up. But if they suck at that particular thing, they have to learn to do that. You don't have to necessarily teach them. You may want to teach them if you're particularly good at it, but they have to be willing to be taught. I already alluded to this. If your partner has a complex trauma that makes them very difficult to be around, that is, again, not for you to fix. And the little personal note on that, I became a much better partner, and I stopped using the silent treatment mostly, if not altogether, after I fixed my own trauma issues. How did I do that? I did at least 7 years of weekly deep psychotherapy work. And this is why I am before you today, is because I fixed my shit. In a nutshell, I didn't want to just lead with this because I wanted for you to see the other components to it. But really, in a nutshell, this is all you are responsible for. Your feelings, your words, what you do with your words, even your words to yourself. very, very big. Your partner may be negative, but if you're internalizing that and you are giving yourself some negative self-talk and you are putting yourself down, that unfortunately is also on you. Obviously, your actions and your own mental health, as I just described, I decided to fix my own. It is always on us to fix our own. This is the part that I was alluding to earlier. You are responsible for the impact of your actions and how it contributes to the relationship future. You can't say that I tried, but it's like you didn't really try, and you're responsible for not really trying. And you are responsible for the things that you did that hurt your partner, that if they did that to you, it would hurt you. You are responsible for that, the consequences of your behavior and how it affects the future of your relationship. Hard truths indeed. Now, for a little moment to pause. Did you see yourself anywhere in there? What did you learn about yourself in this module? What did you learn about your relationship so far? What have you learned about what you take responsibility for that you shouldn't, and what you perhaps do not take responsibility for that you should? These are very big concepts, and I'm throwing them at you because I believe that people can learn this on their own. And I think that we have a lot more power and ability than most people generally give us credit for. As we wrap up this module, do reflect on everything I've just told you, and I will see you in the next one.